in backpacks is kind of what we see. Hearing about fights that are going to take place, a strange man on campus. Youth suicide is kind of the other half. That's just been an onslaught since COVID. The most prolific piece of information we receive is, can someone help my friend? They're cutting. I fear that they're going to take their life. We get that a couple of dozen times nightly. Some of those reports are frightening, but it's great to receive that because you can do something about it. We also, through another sister product, we improve access time to emergency help. So that's really what we do. Why do we do it? It's because kids have information. Kids know everything. We adults don't know everything that kids know. They have their network. They don't always like to share it with adults. So we try to give them tools that make it very comfortable for them to want to share with adults and share freely, so that we adults can do something about this situation at hand. That's just a little bit of additional information. Where do we do it? We do it many places now. Most states in the US, we have clusters where we have partners, either insurance or probably one of you. I'll pick on Dr. Mellon and Susie's agency in Indiana. Without their help, we would not be as prolific in Indiana. We would have only a handful of districts. John, without the regional service agencies in Texas, and I'll be at 15 tomorrow, we would not have the relationships that you can see down in Texas. Other states, Minnesota, we have strong relationships. New Jersey, strong relationships. Ohio, other places through the ESC network. We're blessed, hoping to service Nebraska in a little bit larger way at some point here, but we have some relationships there. Iowa, just to your east, Dan, we have a great relationship with Green Hills. So it's just a wonderful network for us to do business with. John mentioned that we like to go to market using federal funding, and we've supported 32 separate projects now through the Stop School Violence Act, which we'll talk about. That probably represents about 25 service agencies, AESA partners. We have some two-time and even three-time winners. Phoebe Bailey in Arkansas, three-time winner of STOP Act funding.
And also Chris Monomog just to the south of Dan in Kansas as well.
Three-time winner.
Yep.
Chris, we just hopped off the phone with Chris. Great relationship for us. This is very recent news that not everyone may know about in AESA. We went through a corporate transaction a couple of months ago with Lightspeed Systems. John, they are an Austin, Texas-based group. You've probably heard of them. They have a wonderful product called Alert, which is surveillance on Chromebooks. And if you combine that with our volunteer information, which comes from students, you have a very powerful look at really what drives safety and wellness and behavior among students and schools. Lightspeed does a number of other things. For us, the biggest addition is resources. It gives us so much more reach into other markets, and we can bring some other tools in the toolkit. Their surveillance product, something like that was going to be out of reach for us at STOPit Solutions. And now that we don't have to build that on our own with a bunch of capital, it's just a very formidable solution to take to schools. Think of Lightspeed Alert in the same breath as Gaggle, GoGuardian, Securely, that type of product. Kevin's going to tell you more about how it's going to fit with our solution in just a bit. So we're real happy with the relationship with Lightspeed. We're still putting the operations together, but Kevin and their team has single-handedly solved the go-to-market equation. So we're out at conferences together. We're on the road together. We speak to districts together and trying to approach that as one team, one market. And we'll finish off that integration very soon.
Yep.
So hopefully that's good information for you. I'm going to kick it to Kevin just to spin through our core solutions and also to talk about what Lightspeed brings.
Yep, thanks, Park Hill, and good to see everybody. And we've talked about our anonymous reporting system, for years through the AESA network, right? And we hear a lot of times from folks, oh, well, we have a tip line. We don't need a tip line, right? And that's good because we're not a tip line, right? We have a reporting component, but this is more of a robust anonymous reporting system, right? So basically, yes, it includes one of those components that is the submit a tip button, right, which allows students, parents, and staff to submit reports on mental health challenges or school safety issues. But then we've also got a component, you can see there that red button, crisis text line, that provides immediate crisis support to students who need some help to get from crisis to calm, whether that's 2 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday. Those folks are always available. And in states where we do state branded programs through grant applications or other partnerships, we can configure the STOPit app to be a state branded app and weave in the local crisis support services so that in-state students are talking to in-state resources. Perfect example, we're doing that today in Delaware, in New Jersey, in Montana, and in Alaska. And then also the resource repository, which will soon be pretty prominent right in under the crisis text line button in the STOPit app, which provides a gateway to any type of resources that a school community wants to make available to their students, whether it be a URL, a text number, or a phone number, right? Fully configurable down to the campus level in terms of the resources that you provide your students, but then also from the report types that you want them to be able to report on, and then the additional questions that you want to gather as you go through the process. And then on the back end for admins, a very feature-rich incident management portal, which allows program administrators to engage back with the students through two-way anonymous chat to be able to gather some more information. Automated tip routing, which allows you to take certain reports and make sure that they fall in the hands of the right people from a program administrator standpoint, whether that be school safety reports that go to an SRO or a building principal, basic needs reports that can go to a social worker or a family engagement, or mental health challenges that could go to a counselor or a team of counselors. So full reporting down to the campus level, which will allow you not only to see a snapshot at the district level in terms of what's going on, but also drilling down right to the building level. Next slide, Parkhill. So our differentiator is our incident response center. So every report that comes through our program is monitored by that in-house STOPit team. And what they're looking for is anything life-threatening or imminent threat. Any of those reports that are received through the program will be immediately escalated to predetermined emergency contacts in the district and or local law enforcement or mobile response units based upon the district setup at time of onboarding. We say we review all incidents in under 120 seconds. It really is more 20 to 30 seconds. And again, they engage predefined emergency teams and or 911 as needed in life-threatening situations. This is our differentiator. All reports go through double pass review, so there's always two sets of eyes on every report coming through the program. Next slide. So here's how it works. You can see on the left side, students can report through the STOPit app, through the web interface, or the Chromebook app. In between the program administrators is our Emergency Monitoring Center, the IRC. They receive the report in real time, as does the program administrators at the district level. And then the district level folks have the ability to two-way anonymously chat to gather more information to take the report through to resolution. Next slide. So Lightspeed alert, right? So you look at the Stop It program as volunteer information, right? So it's volunteer-based information. Lightspeed alert is behavior-based information. So students are working on their district or school provided devices, working in different programs, working early, but just through their actions in those apps, those reports, those alerts will then go through the same escalation process similar to Stop It. So on the alert side, we also have human review that monitors these programs and looks for anything that is emergency related, and then we'll take a similar escalation path internally within the district. So looking at it from getting actionable intelligence from both sides of the spectrum, volunteer and then also behavioral. We really feel that between the two programs, we fill the gaps in terms of how we gather information on students who are at risk or students who are a threat to others. Next slide. So really exciting stuff coming within the next, I would say, 9 to 12 months, right? The solution integration at the admin level, being able to analyze student safety through a single pane of glass. Our admins who have both Lightspeed Alert and Stop It will be able to manage those alerts and reports through one centralized portal. Really allows you to get a clear visibility into things that are going on at your district from a school safety side. Next one. So data and analytics, right? We both capture similar metadata in terms of being able to show you from a visibility standpoint the types of things that each one of the programs is seeing in your district right down to the campus level. So it really allows you to not only at the district level, but then at the building level, analyze those trends and be able to provide additional resources as necessary at the building level. I'll turn it back over to Park Hill to talk about the Stop School Violence Act.
Okay, and we do have some participants in our federal funding program. We have met a very smart woman about 8, 9 years ago, Carrie Ackerson, who leads our government affairs practice. And for us, Carrie matched us and partners. She actually introduced us, John, to AESA. But she matches funding with partners who can deliver services to school districts. So all we do is we try to identify those matches, provide a little muscle for going after the funding, a little bit of the tedious work that it takes to sometimes capture and actually win an award, and work with a partner in partnership to manage that funding source and ultimately deliver services to schools. Our favorite is the Stop School Violence Act. It has been out for 7 years now, since 2018, and we've won awards every year. As I mentioned earlier, 32 times have we been successful with an application on behalf of a partner. 85, 90% of those have been with AESA members. So we're grateful for that partnership and connection, John. Occasionally we win one for districts. Actually won one at the state level last year here in the state of New Jersey. So that's been a very appropriate program for what we do for schools. But it goes like this. It's about $175 million annually for schools. That number varies from year to year. Last year, ESCs could apply for up to $1 million. States can double that to $2 million of funding, and that needs to be used over a 3-year period. There are opportunities to extend that time frame, but generally 3 years is a good one to count on. It's an annual application cycle. They're a little bit late this year. It typically comes out in March and April. And I remind my colleagues that one time it came out in mid-June, so we're not in uncharted territory. And we have heard that it will drop this year, but it hasn't yet. The idea is providing programs and services for safety or mental wellness challenges, preventing school violence, and that can be violence towards oneself. That's the mandate that the grant likes to cover. Um, it typically has special emphasis. For example, in the past, it's liked to fund underserved populations. That may change a little bit this year, but the basic tenets of the grant don't change from year to year. Sometimes the added emphases can change. So we're looking forward to seeing what they're going to want to steer us to this year in terms of funding. Our model is to provide all the heavy lifting. We work with some agencies that are very sophisticated. I'll take the Texas ESC network. Most of them are very well equipped. They like to be in control of the process, and we'll provide more limited support, such as drafting the actual narrative piece, maybe assisting with the budget. Other service agencies, they love us to do everything, right on down to loading the grant, taking a password and helping. But we're equipped to do it all, and we work under an agency's guidance to the extent of service that they want to have from us. And with Carrie Ackerson's help, we developed a pretty good expertise to be able to lead in this area. Post award, we deliver our portion of the services. A very smart man who happens to be on this call kind of introduced us into bringing in complementary products and solutions, which I think has really added a dimension to these applications. Dr. Mellon, I'm going to borrow your term, continuum of care. That's a great label for the diverse suite of products and services that we brought to Indiana. And it just adds something where you can offer multiple things to approach problems with. So we like that right now. We'll manage that process and the budgeting process in there and certainly deliver our portion of the services. This grant likes procurement first time around. We have not really won an award where we have not needed to be procured by the applicant at some point. Typically in multiple award winners can sole source this. We're not afraid to compete for the work, and we do not charge for our federal funding support, all the things that we just mentioned. So that's a little bit about the STOP Act model. Time frame, we're kind of getting, we had to kind of bunch up this graph a little bit because the time frames are getting delayed, but the government will typically give us 60 days to draft the application. The awards are typically released in October. They were late last year. It was November the 6th, but they do come out in the fall. And then after you clear some paperwork issues, we start delivering service before the end of the year. And that's typically how it works. So if I were to summarize this, it's a nice way to help serve, especially in a budget conscious environment. You do need a sustainability plan. We all know what happens when you have a successful program and funding runs out. So sustainability is an incredibly important part of the process to bear in mind. How are we going to pay for it after the grant? And again, this year, we're all getting very nimble in terms of making budgets work for our expiring grant projects. And you know what? It's working. We draw on our insurance relationships to help in some states. We draw on future grants in some, and it's always best if districts have skin in the game. So that's clearly a favored way to sustain projects. So certainly something that we're working on hard this year. And we're very proud of what we've accomplished, John, with AESA. It's just been a blessing, of a relationship for us. And I think our agency partners have gotten a lot out of it. And we know the kids have. I can tell you right now that about 10,000 emergency incidents on our ESC driven grant projects have been captured over the last 6 years. We don't typically track people down to figure out how many lives we've saved, what crises we've averted. We do ask administrators to code outcomes, so we have a little bit of data. But the program saves lives. I think that I'm proud of that, and I'm just proud that we have um, um, trusted partners who share those same values and care about kids like we do. So we're just very thankful for the relationship. Thank you for organizing this few minutes with your special partners,
Yep,
the members of
absolutely.
AESA as well. Happy to field any questions if anyone has any.
Perfect. Any questions? Well, if not, you know how to get a hold of me and you know how to get a hold of these fine folks. And please feel free to reach out. I mean, Park Hill and Kevin, we're so appreciative of what they have done for our members and the schools that they serve. I can't say that enough. You know, they have been long-term partners with us, long time and long-term partners with us. And it's the kind of partnerships that we really enjoy because they're truly excellent at what they do. And you know, you may not have the numbers of some things that the things maybe you prevented or lives that you've saved, but you know, even at one, you can't put a price on that. And so it's been so fantastic with the job that your organization has done. And now with this addition with Lightspeed, I know it's going to be even more effective than it ever has been. And it's been so effective to this point. So thank you so much for being with us. We do have this recorded. We'll make sure we share it with everyone that registered. And I'll make sure that I get that out to you. But glad to see everyone online today and look forward to seeing you at our event in Austin, hopefully for most of you. So we'll see you then. Thanks again. Thanks, Park Hill. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks,
Thank you,
John. Thanks,
John. Thank you,
everyone.
Claire. Good to see everybody. Take care.